So we're going to move on to Dr. Willie Jolley, he puts motivational speaker on his title, but Willie. Dr. Jolley offers so much more than that. So we're going to look at this video really quickly and then bring him on.
Hey, it's another great day. This is Dr. Willie Jolley, and today's message is taken from my book, It Only Takes a Minute to Change Your Life. If you want to change your life, how long do you think it would take? Well, most people think it takes a long time, but in reality, it only takes a minute. The minute you make a decision and move in a new direction is the minute you change your life. You might not reach your destination in a minute, but you certainly can change your direction in a minute. The problem is that most people will not make the decision. They bounce around the idea and never move on it. They get caught up in the paralysis of analysis. I encourage you to move on your ideas, and you will see that it is true, that the minute you decide and move on that decision is the minute you change your life. This is your minute to act. Do it now. Don't just think about it, act on it. This is Dr. Willie Jolley. Look, go to winwithwillie.com. Winwithwillie.com for resources to help you win more. And share this video with everybody you know. And remember to make the most of each and every minute. Because your best, your best is still yet to come. Make it a great day.
Woo, I'm ready. I'm ready. And I'm so glad I have more than a minute with you, though, Dr. Jolley.
My dear friend, Denise, Rolark Barnes. You have, and everybody who's watching has only just a minute, only 60 seconds in it. Forced upon us, we can't refuse it. We didn't seek it, we didn't choose it, but it's up to us to use it. We must suffer if we lose it, give account if I abuse it and you abuse it. Only a tiny little minute, but our eternity is wrapped up in it. So I'm grateful for this minute, this moment, this honor, this opportunity to be with my dear friend, my sister girl, Denise Rolark Barnes, and everybody with Washington Informer. Especially, I got to shout out my friend, brother Burke. He is, Burke is just a icon of sales in our community, and he works for you and has been a big part of your family.
No question, no question. And I call a poem or whatever that you just recited was something my father opened up all of his speeches with,
Absolutely.
And I loved it.
Hey, there's one more thing your father did, and I extracted it from him. I feel good. I feel real good.
That's right.
I'm wide awake. Are y'all feeling good? He used to do that at the beginning of his speeches. What a great man and what a great legacy he left for all of us. So God bless you.
Well, tell me now, this is the beginning of a new year, right? Yeah. And everybody's either has sat down and maybe not everybody, but written out these goals. I read something the other day that I've been sharing with folks and it said, as opposed to writing goals, write a letter to yourself that includes goals and whatever else that you hope to see for your life in the next year, and put it somewhere so that at the end of this year, you can read it. And not really judge yourself, but just determine, But anyway, talk about that. Talk about the whole idea.
I think that's a unique idea. I've never heard of that one before. But, most people at the beginning of the new year, what they do is they make resolutions. I resolve that I'm going to make more money this year. I resolve I'm going to lose some weight. I resolve I'm going to get healthy. I resolve. And you know what? It doesn't work. It's a feel good practice that people do at the beginning of the year. The problem is by the 25th of the month of January, they've forgotten what they resolved. They've forgotten it. And so I encourage people to not make any resolutions. I encourage them rather to set goals, Now, for many people, they think that they're the same thing. No, a goal has certain characteristics that are very unique and make it a goal. Number one, it must be written. Scripture says, write the vision, make it plain that he that reads it may run the race. So a goal must be written. Second, it must be what we call SMART. And that SMART. I got two R's in there. The first S is for specific. Remember to say, I want to make more money. How much more money? What's the number? Be specific. Well, I want to lose weight. How much weight? Be specific. So it must be specific. Next, it must be measurable, that you can actually measure if you hit it or didn't. You can check it. People say, I want to be happy this year. Well, how do you measure happiness? I'm happy every single solitary day I wake up without a chalk outline around my body. I am happy. So you've got to make something measurable. Then it must be achievable. It's in the realm of possibility to say, okay, I made $50,000 last year, but this year I'm gonna make $1 billion. Okay, that's probably not going to happen. So it should be in the realm of achievement that you can do this year, and then you can grow on it. Then it must be realistic and relevant. Realistic means that it is in the realm of possibility. Okay, even in the now. Our team, the Washington football team, is in need of a quarterback. And so let's say I set on my goals list this week, I'm going to be the new quarterback of the Washington football team. Not realistic. I've never played professional football, never played any kind of football. So that's not going to be realistic. So make them realistic, but then also relevant, which is your why. Why do you want this? Because that's what's going to keep you going when it gets tough. It will get tough. You know, I wrote a book, A Setback is a Setup for a Comeback, a book that's gone on to be a global bestseller, A Setback Setup for a Comeback. And let me tell you, you're going to have some setbacks. Not maybe, not might. You will have some setbacks this year because that's life. But when it comes your way, when you have a setback, what's your why? What keeps you going? My friend Everett Hall, many people know him up on Wisconsin Avenue in Chevy Chase area. He said the reason that he keeps going is because his father worked overtime and did all he could in a factory in Ohio to make sure his sons, and many of his sons are in fashion, had material and designs and the tools to create these clothes for men. And so he said, I've never forgotten that commitment and that dedication. So what's your why? What is it that makes you keep going? And what's your reason? And last, but the T is for time bound. You say you want to achieve it. If it's not time bound, you will procrastinate. So I have some new books that I have set goals for to be finished this year. I got a new book. You're going to love this one. That is called Rich is Good, Wealthy is Better. And so you're going to hear about that. But then I want to lose some weight this year. And I got a date and amount that I want to reach this year. So I'm encouraging you to make it one, written, then write the vision, make it plain that he that reads may run the race. Then smart, specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, relevant, and time bound. You do that, it's going to change. In fact, Denise, last week I was in St. Martin, and I was speaking there, and they invited me to do a radio show on the French side. I was speaking in the Dutch side. They went on the French side, and they put me in the radio studio. I sat down at the microphone, and the owner was in his office. He came out of his office going through the studio, and he stops and said, they told me we had a guest. I didn't know it was Willie Jolley. Oh my God, Willie Jolley's here. Willie Jolley. And he goes on and on and on. I'm saying, why is he so excited? He said, let me tell you why. 25 years ago, you came to the French side and you did a speech as well as interviews. I was the engineer on the radio station who was working that day. You talked about setting goals, dreaming big, and taking some of your money and investing it for your future. That is why I own this station today. I own a hardware store down the street. I own some homes in the next block. All because of you. I had no idea you were the guest. And I said, thank you, sir. But that's why I was here, to try and encourage others that it's possible. So set goals and then do this work. Go to winwithwillie.com. Everybody go to winwithwillie.com. There'll be a item there that you can click called the goal setting, goal achieving class. Click it. Invest in yourself, invest this year in taking that class, and it will grow you. It's a 3-hour class. Sit down with your family, do it together. It will grow your success. And then do what Denise said, write that letter to yourself and say, this year, I planned and I talked about, look what I was able to do in advance. Look, the best way to predict the future is to create the future you want.
Wow. I feel like I'm just in the audience listening, which I am, because, your words of wisdom are just so, meaningful. And so this is something that we all, are just trying to figure this thing out. How do we figure this out? So let me ask you another question just really quickly, because our time is short. But when it comes to teams, like, myself, I'm a business owner. You talked about a business owner. It's easy to set goals for yourself, and then, whether you achieve them or not. But what about in a team setting? I know you've talked to corporate folks. Hopefully you'll be out there in Montgomery County talking to those folks out there as well.
Right.
How do you talk to teams? Because
that's a great question, Denise. Here's what I tell people. The best way to grow your future is to grow yourself. The best way to grow your organization is to grow your people. Great people tend to give great service. Good people give good service. Mediocre people only have the capacity to give good service, and negative people will kill your organization. So that is why I wrote the book, An Attitude of Excellence. It's 2 books in one. The first half is to grow your people, and the second half is to grow yourself. And so last week, as I said, in St. Martin, they bought one for everybody, all the workers, because they know that if you grow your people, you empower and inspire your people, they will serve the customer better. If they serve the customer better, that customer will not only come back, but they will talk about you in their friends and their network, and they become your unpaid marketing tool and team. So Attitude of Excellence is, again, winwithwillie.com. Go to Attitude of Excellence, get a chapter from the book, and then start looking at it. And if it makes sense, get some for your people. Marriott, Hyatt, Blue Cross Blue Shield. So many companies now are buying it for their people and saying, this is what we want you to be our reading program. For we want you to succeed. And as you succeed, we will succeed more. And rather than the old axiom, I want you to make me more money, let me help them become more profitable in their own lives. And if they do that, they will help me as a company become profitable people. Because, people who are happy at work and at home tend to be happier in their efforts to help you make money.
Fantastic. And so is that your latest book?
No, that's not my latest book. My latest book is my book with my wife. Make love, make money, make it last. 10 Secrets to Shape a Great Marriage. We wanted to Today Show this last year. We've been married going on 38 years, haven't had an argument in over 35 years. And so we put the principles in the book. We now have a Monday night show on Facebook and on Twitter and on all of these IG, and it's called the Jolley Marriage Show, or it's on YouTube as well, Jolley Marriage Show. Every day, every Monday, we do a piece about marriage and talk about the 3 big things that break up marriages: sex, money, communication. And we take letters and questions from people, and then we deal with what worked for us and how to help. And we've had so many people who were on their way to the divorce court. Some had filed for divorce. Wow. We told them, get 2 copies of the book, just do 2 copies, read it together, and talk about each chapter. At the end of each chapter, the learning lessons, and see what happened. Every single one of them has written us and said, or called us and said, my marriage got healed from that experience. So look, go to jollymarriage.com or winwithwillie.com again, and click the Jolly Marriage button and get a free chapter from the book. It's our gift to everybody who wants it.
Willie Jolley, Dr. Willie Jolley, thank you so very much for being with us today. Wish you a happy new year, and hopefully
happy new year. And to same to you and your family, your husband, them boys, and your whole staff. I will leave you with this. My prayer for everybody who's watching. Beloved, I wish above all things that you will prosper and be in good health, even as your souls prosper. That's my wish for everybody. Amen. Love you.
Thank you so much. Have a good one. All righty.
Where do you come to